Hello everybody, I'm Symes, and with me as ever is Robin.
Hello there, I am Robin and I am here.
He is here, and we're going to do a contract today.
Someone's got to be taken out. No, not that sort of contract.
We're going to fire a space station into the orbit around the sun.
So we're not going to fly a space station at someone.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, firing a space station at someone would be more fun, but this is quite fun. Because you just have to build a space station that can hold 5 Kerbals and then launch it into a solar orbit. And then you've completed the contract. What happens to it after that is irrelevant, really.
Just leave them orbiting the sun forever.
But luckily for our Kerbals, you don't actually have to have any Kerbals on board at the time. It just has to be able to support 5 of them.
Oh, right.
So you can see here it says put the station in the orbit of the sun. It has to have power, an antenna, and a docking port. It needs to support at least 5 Kerbals. It needs to maintain a stable orbit for 10 seconds. And
10 seconds.
For that, we will get monies.
Yeah,
and,
quite a bit.
And monies are good. So that's what we're doing today. We're also
significant prestige as well.
Progressing the build on our orbital Minmus facility. But first of all, I thought we'd go in and actually show how to build a space station to fulfill this contract.
Okay.
So there's a contract window there. So I've got everything up so we can see what's going on.
That's it.
So we need space for 5 Kerbals. So we'll put this cupola module on. That's got space for 1 Kerbal.
That's okay. So do we need 5 of them, or are we going to stick other bits on?
No, we're going to use something else. We're going to find the hitchhiker module, slap that on the bottom. That has space for 4 Kerbals, so 5 Kerbals in total. That's that bit done.
Okay, so we just need to strap a rocket to it and fire it at the sun.
We need to fill. It needs some other stuff. It needs the antenna on it.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to slap an antenna on. Find one from here. The Commutron 8888.
So we're not just going to use a coat hanger.
No, not this time. We'll stick that on there. Stick.
Yep.
Right, that's got an antenna. What's next?
Looking good.
Power. It needs power.
I can see our excellent flag over there.
Yes. Splendid Llama interplanetary flag.
Yeah.
So let's find some power. We'll put a battery pack on. We'll scroll down to the big battery pack. Grab that. Slap it on the bottom. Got some batteries now. That's looking good.
Yep.
Now it needs some solar panels. So we'll go and find some solar panels. Solar panels.
Somewhere.
There they are. Decide which one to get. Doesn't really matter. Pick them. Put it on double and stick them on. Got one on each side. Looking good.
Yep.
That's the power requirement done. Now it needs a docking port. So, find docking ports. Put the Clampertron Senior on the bottom.
Clampertron. That's a brilliant name.
There we go. Right, that is basically the space station. Right there.
So that's what we need to fire at the sun.
We need to fire that into orbit around the sun. But what we're going to do first
slight difference,
is just check that it fulfills the requirements before we launch it, because it would be terrible if we launched it and then we realised I hadn't built it properly.
That would be bad, yes.
So we're going to do that. We're also going to, because we're not actually going
to do that or something, or
just put it on the pad and it'll tell you if you've built it with all of the requirements. But first, we're going to put a probe core on it, because we don't actually want to send a Kerbal into orbit around the sun forever, because they're not that valuable, but they're still a little bit more valuable than that. We don't really just want to waste them. So Dave, sorry mate, your time has come.
You see that sun? You're going to orbit it
You're
forever.
Orbit that forever. No, I
not our forever, just your forever.
I accidentally doubled up on those, so I'm just fixing that. So now there's one probe core and one autopilot module attached.
Okay.
That looks good.
Yep. Stripey.
So a little bit stripey, but everything seems to be attached. So that's all in.
Kerbal's blissfully wandering down, unaware below them.
Being engineery, so we'll give it a name.
Something inspiring.
Basic station.
I'm inspired.
I knew you would be.
I'm exceedingly inspired.
So that's on the pad now. But we scroll down to the contract and it says build a station that has power, antenna, and a docking port, and there's a tick next to that. And it supports at least 5 Kerbals. There's a tick next to that. So that's good. We've met the requirements. Now we have to get it off the pad and into orbit around the sun.
This involves rockets.
It involves rockets, and you've seen me build rockets before, so this bit has been a little bit accelerated just to.
Yeah. What's the orange thing there?
Save time. It's a half-size jumbo tank from Modular Rocket Systems.
All right.
Because the normal jumbo tank is orange, so the MRS adds a half-size one that's also orange.
Is it quite a heavy system, that station?
No. These are just 2.5 metre parts, they're not that big at all. So
Alright.
it's kind of going back to how things used to be.
Yeah,
I'm
so
just checking thrust
it's
to weight.
a budget station.
It's pretty inexpensive as things go. It's got a small amount of fuel. It's just enough fuel and engine power to get it out of Kerbal orbit because you don't have to care about bringing it back.
No.
Just fire it. That'll be fine. And so that's
See it once a year.
So that's the transfer stage. That fuel tank and that engine, and now I'm sticking a decoupler on so we can put a lift stage underneath.
Is it going to get a little cone on the top?
No. I thought about putting an adapter onto a larger diameter stuff, but then I thought, no, I don't need to bother. Why would I need to do that? Let's just put this stuff on. So this isn't enough fuel, so I'm going to stick another tank in there. Like that.
It's quite tall.
Yeah, for the sort of dimension for the width, it's quite tall. It's a little bit top heavy, but it's nowhere near as big as some of the other stuff we've built. But it's all so this is all standard parts. We're not even using like 3.75 meter parts, let alone the 5 meter ones.
Yeah.
A couple of solid rocket boosters because you always need them.
They're excellent. I've licked one of those.
I remember you saying, yeah.
It's one of my proudest achievements.
Is that you put it on your CV?
Have licked solid stage rocket booster.
Solid rocket booster licked.
Yep.
So now put the launch stability enhancers on the side so it doesn't fall over on the pad. It's kind of important. Slap some struts on.
So it doesn't wobble like anything. It's a bit uneven there.
Failed to slap struts on. That's fine. The boosters are balanced. It doesn't have to be exactly the same height as the main engine. That's fine. That looks good. That's all fine. That's our rocket. And save it, and then we launch it. Hey, there it is on the launch.
There it is at a ungainly distance above the ground.
Yes, quite high. Up,
Unlikely
actually,
that is.
thinking about it.
Considering how much that weighs.
Yes, especially this is like supported in 2 places only.
Yes.
Okay, so let's
Particularly strong bits of string.
let's punch it. Yes, there is a problem there, which is that the solid boosters do not in fact have enough lift when there's only 2 of them. So
It plummets.
so it dropped back down again. So let's put another one on. Yeah,
Put 2 or 3 on.
there's 3 on in total now,
Right. Okay.
just to give it that extra kick. And I actually added the main engine to the bottom stage as well, so then the autopilot can adjust it when it's going up. And then I sort of play with the thrust limiter for a while. Going,
Thrustometer?
Not sure.
How much thrust do you want?
How much thrust from the solid rocket boosters? Lots or really lots? And then I just got to ask her it and put it back at 100% again.
Solid.
And
Wah!
put the main engine down at the bottom.
All of it.
All the thrust. Right, save, launch. Here we are again,
I have this sense of deja vu.
fixing the staging a little bit, and autopilot engaged. Launch.
And
That's much better.
hey,
Now it's
we're going the
up
right direction.
rather than down.
That was very quick.
Yeah, it's sped up, and because it's not a very complicated rocket, the game is actually able to run reasonably quickly. Some of the stuff we've launched has been very, very ponderous.
It works out all the physics and science. Science!
Yeah. So we're going up, nosing over at 8,000 meters.
Yeah. Oh,
So the
there goes
boosters away.
solids. Ah, splat.
Correcting there.
Looks a bit like some sort of bizarre cigar.
It is, yeah, because it's so orange.
Yeah. Solid rocket booster, the mild cigar. Or something. It's not solid rocket.
No, this is
Liquid
LFO.
fuel, isn't it?
Yep.
Ooh, we're going out to a nice sunrise there.
Yep. Sun's about to come up, so I turn the camera around so we can catch it.
There, that is your destination. You're going to orbit that forever.
Forever. Yes.
That is your fate.
When will I see you again? Well, here's the thing.
Once a year, we'll wave at you as we go past.
Well, yeah, but they're in more or less the same orbit as Kerbal, only going slightly quicker. So it's not going to be once a year. It's going to be a very, very much longer time than that. All right, so I punch the solar panels out so we don't lose power.
Yeah, I guess you don't need to really put them that far. You just need to get them out of the influence of Kerbal.
Exactly, yeah, just out of the sphere of influence, which is what this is doing. So,
yep.
And execute the node. So we're just going to burn the rest of the fuel that's in the lower stage, just because it doesn't really matter.
Round and round and round it
round,
goes.
915 meters a second additional speed to get us out of the solar system. No, it wasn't out of the local system.
There he goes.
Dump the bottom stage, use the thrust. There's still 3/4 of the fuel left in the top stage, so I've massively over-designed it.
Well, you don't want to run out of fuel after getting this far, do you?
But yeah, and so now that's that done.
See, that's going to take it a while
to get there. It's
going
to take 13 days to get there, so we're going to do some stuff at this base first. In fact, the tour bus is going to...
Back on our... back on the moon.
The tour bus is actually going to get to the moon before that happens, so we're going to need to do that as well, but that will come later. So we're going to finish building the orbital factory that we were building, which is going to go into orbit, oddly enough.
The hint's in the name.
Yes. So we're just time warping through here.
Oh yeah, making rocket parts.
And waiting for the construction to finish, and then we'll...
Kerbins look very happy with things.
Yeah, they're all
we're making rockets.
I think we established that there was something wrong with the air supply, didn't we?
Yes. or that maybe just their brains.
Yeah, just like, ugh. So, right. So it's kind of going, where do you want it, boss? And I'm thinking, well, surely I want it on the survey stakes that I put out ages ago. But it still says, where do you want it? So, whatever. I press finalize build, and oops.
Oops.
It spawns it in the middle of the base, which explodes. So, yeah.
Oh, look, it's floating away.
It's floating away. Let's try that again. All the survey stakes disappeared for some reason, so I put a new one out and named it Minmus Launchpad. And so now you can see it's got a drop down.
Yep.
For Minmus Launchpad, so I'm going to finalise the build again.
Little Kerbal looks slightly worried because he knows what happened last time.
Now it hasn't exploded, so that's brilliant. So there's our new spacecraft.
That's what we built.
And then, boom, something explodes. What? What's exploded? What's happening? Why did that happen?
Something has randomly exploded.
Something at the bottom of the ship blew up, and I don't know what it was. So I spend a little bit of time trying to get an angle at the bottom of the ship.
I'm sure it wasn't important.
Yes. What could possibly have gone wrong at the base of that ship? It's only where the rockets are.
You didn't put any wheels on it, did you?
No.
Wheels are always exploding.
And then I saw I count the number of rockets, and it actually does have all 4. So, well, that's weird. What blew up then? So let's get a Kerbal out to inspect a bit closer so we can see what's going on.
You there, go and find out what exploded.
So go and look
But it might explode again. None of your excuses.
Yeah. So we'll go and check it out, and indeed all 4 engines are still attached, so that's good. Yep. And the autopilot's still attached there, you can see that.
Maybe it was the flag exploding.
What it actually was, I think, was the survey stake, which marks where the build goes, because the thing spawned right on top of it, and I think it just then blew up. Which means we're probably going to need to get another shipment of survey stakes before too long, if that's going to keep happening. But anyway, the thing all seems to be intact, and that's our magnificent orbital station. Not presently
survived the explosion of a highly dangerous stake.
A stake in the ground, boom!
Yeah.
So,
if I've learned anything from Kerbal physics, is that everything can explode.
Yeah, everything explodes. So what we're going to do now, we need to fuel up this thing before we can launch it. So we'll attach pipes to it, as we've done in the past. We'll just fly over here to this fuel tank. Slap that pipe on there, click, and then link it up.
Just drilled a hole in the side there or something.
Yeah, it's probably fine. There's just a big spike. Just nailed it into the side of the fuel tank.
How do I get it in here? Well, here's a hammer.
Here's a hammer. Work it out.
And this is a spike. Just whack this into the side.
Right, so that's...
What about hull integrity? Nah.
Yeah. What's the worst that could happen? So that's linked up now, and fuel...
It's not like it's, some sort of survey stake that could explode or something.
No, it's only a fuel tank. It's perfectly safe.
Yeah. They don't explode at all.
No. So now we're just... I'm trying to find where the fuel is.
Just for a second there, the right-hand Kerbal, I thought he was going to rotate his head 360 degrees. He was looking like he was going to do it.
So I found where the fuel is, which is in that tank over there. So now it's filling up the fuel tanks on this thing.
Yep.
It's also a little bit in
Ruby.
the top floods, but that doesn't really matter. It's fine. So it's full now, because it only needs the 4 fuel tanks at the bottom to actually get it into orbit around Minmus.
And they sod all gravity, so
Yes,
you don't
exactly.
need them much kick anyway.
So now go back to this space center quickly, just to decide who should fly it.
Who wants to orbit this moonoid forever?
And it turns out that the ideal candidate is Sigson,
Sigson.
because he is the least stupid. so that's his qualification. He has a combination of bravery and a lack of stupidity, which makes him the ideal candidate for operating this
Relative lack
station.
of stupidity, I'd like to say.
Well, yes, but as Kerbals go, he's actually reasonably bright. So he's disconnected the fuel pipe there. So we
Well,
don't.
they built a moon base. I mean, they're not entirely stupid.
No.
Well, they have had help.
Yes. So we disconnect the fuel line there, just so we don't try and tow the base into space with us. 'Cause that
That's a good idea.
And we get another quick pan up the side of the station there, which looks very lovely. And there's the hatch on the side of the command module thing, and he misses it and goes flying into the air. And
Bounce.
look, we just get in. Just get in the thing. Heaven's sake. Fine, okay, he's in now. Good.
He didn't want to get in.
Okay, so
That's not going to nuke the base when it takes off or anything, is it?
no, it's fine.
Yeah.
So we'll get the old autopilot on, put a 50-kilometer orbit in. Check that everything's fine, and go! Whee!
Nothing exploded.
No.
Wow.
Presumably there was nothing left to explode, I don't know. And yeah, up we go.
Those rockets look teeny.
They are pretty feeble, given the mass of the thing, but because it's Minmus, it's really, really easy to get things into orbit.
There it is.
So now we're just waiting to circularize, which we're now doing. And done.
Lovely.
Marvellous.
50k up.
The only thing left to do is to open all the solar panels, like that. Which looks lovely. And then I think we might take it round into the sunshine, just so we
I
can
haven't
see,
quite realised how
see it a
not
bit better.
round it is.
Yeah,
It's quite bumpy.
very much not round at the back.
Yeah.
So there's our space station.
There's a technical term there, not round.
Very much, yes, not round. Lacks in roundosity. So there's our space station.
Hello.
Our orbital construction facility, which is currently manned by one engineer. It needs another few engineers in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think having actually now read up on how the stuff works, we'll probably still be building most of the things on the moon simply because there's more workshops there and it'll be more efficient. But it does have that cool
Ooh, what's all that then?
little clamp thing that pops out, because it builds the ships at the front, so it's got that thing that pops out as a thing, and it's got
Has it got a docking port on this?
no, there is no docking port on this. So it'll have to be supplied by the logistics stuff down on the base, which is fine.
Right, okay.
And it's got floodlights on it as well, which is kind of
Cool.
cool. So that's our amazing orbital space station with its big.
Sixon looks extremely pleased to be
Sixon's
there.
like, yes, finally away from those idiots. God, it's driving me mad.
And the air here is really
And
good.
yeah, it's like must have been something terrible in the atmosphere down there.
Maybe
Or
it's just one of the other Kerbals just farts a lot.
Yeah, maybe, or possibly he's brought whatever was contaminating the atmosphere with him, which is why he's so happy. Yes, I can see everything
Forever.
forever. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Day 63. It still looks awesome.
this is 3. Everything's still incredible. And that's, I say so myself. I think that's quite a cool looking space station.
Yeah, yeah.
Bit weird, but quite cool with its little ring and its ring of solar panels and everything.
Yep. You can start
Um,
building shizzle from there.
Yes, So we can start constructing stuff in 2 different places now, as soon as we get a supply of rocket parts up here. So we can build stuff at this facility and down on Minmus. So that's
Excellent.
cool.
Sixon's going to be busy.
And that's us for this week as well. Launched our lovely space station, and next time we'll probably set some more stuff off building and deal with the 2 of us, and probably deal with the sun station as well.
Hurrah!
Yes. So is there anything else you feel you would like to add at this stage?
Not particularly, no. I'm just amused by Sixon staring around.
Just, yes, I don't understand what's going on, but it's all brilliant. Okay then. But in that case, we will thank you, as always, for watching, and please join us again next time.
Toodalooski.
Goodbye.